Welcome to the Plant-Based Podcast. Did you know that plants are truly amazing? Not only can you grow them and eat them, you can also wear them, drink them, nourish your skin with them, and so much more. Let Ellen and Michael inspire you to love plants as much as they do, as they chat with the movers and shakers in this wonderful plant-based world. So, let's dig in.
Hey guys, our Series 8 sponsors are Floret. They're a farmer-owned cooperative who believe in selecting only the finest, freshest salad mixes, delivering the best salads naturally full of flavour. Did you know their salad bags can be recycled at supermarket soft plastic recycling areas as well? Why not create all kinds of recipes with salad leaves, but how will you make your dish unfloretable? So today we're going to be finding out more about the world of salad leaves. Now, Floret is a name that you might recognise, but you might not know much about them. Floret are actually a farmer-owned network who are committed to delivering quality and freshness with every single pack of salad that they produce. You'll find that together with Floret, they carefully and responsibly manage the whole growing process to make sure the salad is as fresh and great tasting as it can be. And some people even call it unfloretable, and we don't excuse that pun at all.
Absolutely, we don't. And we are here today with Catherine Birmingham, Senior NPD Technologist at Floret, and Nick Walker, Head of Agronomy at Fresh. So welcome both of you to the podcast. We can't wait to hear more about the origins of the Floret Corporation. You know, can you tell us basically where it all began?
Yeah. I'll answer that one. So Floret is obviously the bag salad brand created by a French farming co-op called Agrial. Agrial was formed when three smaller co-ops were merged. The earliest of these date back to the early 1900s. These were originally formed to improve the livelihoods of French farmers, but also the local community as well. The heartland of the co-op is Normandy, but since it's expanded internationally and now works in over 11 different countries, including Africa and North America.
Wow.
Yes, Floret was the first ready-to-eat salad bag launched into Europe. And whilst the Floret brand began in France, it's been sold in the UK for over 30 years and has been based here since 1999.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? I've got, just before we go on, I have to just say that behind Nick, what we can see on Zoom is all the tunnels and amazing sunset behind him. It looks absolutely incredible.
A lot of salad.
Yeah, as I said earlier, unfortunately, it's not live, so we could do with some rain at the farm, to be fair.
Yeah, well, can't we all? That's for sure. Yes. And also, I should just say that Michael and I both have Floret aprons on, especially for the podcast. We look very professional.
Yeah.
So, Nick, you're head of agronomy at Fresh, and Catherine is senior NPD technologist at Floret. So, Catherine, what does your job involve in the group?
So I'm a senior NPD technologist at Floret. So NPD is new product development. So we look after developing all the new products that you see in the supermarket. So we're working on all the new exciting products for next year at the moment. So that's my role. And then I'm also a registered associate nutritionist as well with the Association for Nutrition. So my background is nutrition. That was what my degree was in. So I help out with any of the salad packs where we have nutritional claims and we put all the nutrients information on the back. So that's what I work on as well.
Excellent. Very interesting. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So tell us, obviously with Floret, the salad market has grown a lot over the years because, you know, I remember when I was a kid, you wouldn't see packs of salad, but now they're very commonplace and you would pick them up, you know, at the corner shop, kind of they're very convenient. So kind of how has that whole marketplace changed and grown?
Yeah, so Floret pioneered the UK's prepared salad market when it arrived in the late 1980s. So we were offering taste, convenience and freshness to shoppers that had only been able to buy whole head lettuce before. So that introduction of baby leaves or salad mixes was really a game changer to the market. And fast forward to now, and Floret is the number one salad brand in the UK prepared salad market. So that is salad sold in bags and bowls and it's ready to eat. So we're selling 36 million packs a year, and over 6 million shoppers are buying Floret each year. So they're using Floret salad for side salads or the salad meal and adding it to sandwiches.
Excellent.
Wow. Having seen all those polytunnels behind you, Nick, and that amazing view, I really wonder how are the salad leaves grown? Like, what's the best conditions for them? How do they best grow?
Yeah, so as you can imagine, it's fairly complicated and takes quite a lot of planning. But ultimately, our growers have a real passion for growing salad. And are ultimately experts in their crops, which they have to be. They have to be to get a decent crop that's ready at the right time for us to harvest. Soil and seed bed are very important and can make a real difference to crop quality. It's vital that we have a healthy balance between pH, nutrients, and moisture. And for lettuce, pH needs to be around 6 to 7. So that's slightly acidic to neutral. Sunlight and temperature are also essential for growing quality leaves. And that's also carefully monitored by our growers. You mentioned the tunnels. So some of our more delicate leaves, such as the baby leaves, we grow a percentage of those under the tunnel so we can protect them from the worst of the weather. And we can also control the amount of water they receive and when. So that helps with the end quality. We have expert agronomists going around continually monitoring the crop throughout its whole life cycle from planting to harvest. And then we decide when it's ready, the optimum time for harvest. We try and harvest as early in the day as possible when the leaves are the freshest. So they've come through the night when it's normally a bit cooler. Okay. And then the product's cooled and sent to the factory as quickly as possible. We're actually confident that our customers will be happy with the freshness because we even have a freshness guarantee.
So how many days might it take from the salad being picked to being on our plates at home?
Say that again, sorry.
How many days is it likely to be from the salad being on our plates at home?
When we're taking just from the UK, we can harvest it this morning. It can be in the factory this afternoon. It can be packed overnight, and it can be on shelf either tomorrow or the next day. So it's try and keep that chain as short as possible to help with the freshness of the crop.
That's impressive.
It's quite a quick process.
Okay, and I imagine you're following a lot of sustainable practices there on the farms, and the packaging, is that evolving all the time as well?
Yeah, so packaging, obviously anyone who buys bag salads know that we pack in plastic. We wouldn't if we didn't have to, but it helps keep the salad as fresh as possible and stops it from wilting and decaying. Like all businesses, we're continuing reviewing the packaging we're using, and we're trying to reduce the amount of plastic. We've actually, in our Floret bags, we reduced the plastic by 5%, which means we're going to be using 2.5 tons less plastic every year. So that's it's a good step in the right direction, but we're always looking to improve. Customers can actually recycle at most of our major retailers, so Tesco, Sainsbury's, the Co-op, etc. There's recycling points at front of store.
Okay, so because a lot of people don't realise that soft plastic can be recycled, but very often inside the supermarket, not necessarily in our recycling bins.
Yeah,
but still away.
Unfortunately, you can recycle it, but not through your, as you say, through your home recycling.
That's still great because it doesn't take up much space. You could just build up a box under the sink, and then when you go next to the supermarket, you can then, responsibly recycle that packaging. So there's a really good solution for that.
Yeah, and that's becoming, there's more and more places that you're able to do that. So that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the farm, obviously, we're doing lots of different stuff. Integrated farm management is really at the heart of everything we do. It's a whole farm business approach, and it delivers a much more sustainable way of farming. Specifics here, for example, at Colchester here at our farm, we're actively encouraging wildlife diversity. Projects such as No Mow May and wild flowering areas. We've mentioned the tunnels a couple of times. We collect the rainwater from those tunnels and we store it on 3 reservoirs on site, and that means we're self-sufficient in water for all of our tunnel cropping throughout the year. All our fields have a 2-metre field margin, and that's left uncropped, and that helps supply food and shelter for wildlife. They also act as wildlife corridors, allowing mammals and insects to move easily around the environment. What else do we do? Headlands, ditches, hedges, they're maintained to create a preferable environment for wildlife. And then when we're planting new hedges, they're always native species like maple, hawthorn or hazel.
Wonderful. Yeah. That's a lot of goodness going on there. But I want to talk about the goodness in the bags now. All of the different options that you can have for lettuce, because, a lot of us, or what we see, is like purely iceberg and Lola Rosso. But there's so many different options, aren't there?
Yes, there are. There's not hundreds, but there's lots of different types of lettuce, both as a whole head and as a baby leaf. Here at the farm, we're growing 7 different types of whole head lettuce, both red and green varieties, and 3 baby leaves. So we're growing iceberg, Batavia, Apollo, Cos, the aforementioned Lola Rosso, and they're all lettuce types. But they do have some taste differences. The Cos and the Batavia probably being one of the sweetest varieties. We're also growing Frise and Radicchio, but they're not a lettuce. They're actually a chicory, so they're not quite as sweet as the lettuce family, but they're a good leaf. They're a good leaf anyway. And then our baby leaves are. Yeah. Sorry.
It's a nice balance of flavours, then, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then the baby leaves we're growing are spinach, rocket, and lamb's lettuce. And they're probably giving us our most diverse flavour profiles. My favourite's probably rocket. So that's just me. And then in the Floret brand, we actually have over a dozen different leaf varieties. So those are just a few of them.
Okay. And it must take a lot of research to look for new leaves. How often would you add a new leaf to, one of the bags, for example? Because I see in the supermarket, you've got quite a few different kind of strains of bags now. You've got the Superfood, you've kind of got the general ones. So there must be lots of research and development that goes into that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're working a year ahead. So at the moment, we're working on next year's development. So every year we're looking at any new leaves that there might be, anything that's new, anything that's different, anything that we think will be really exciting to consumers, so that we can kind of bring that taste and that freshness. So we're always on top of that, and that's where I kind of work with Nick in terms of visiting the farms, the seed suppliers and the growers to see what's new, what's different, so that we can offer more.
Oh.
So, when you see like a lettuce leaf, for example, it's sort of like one of those things that are good for you, but you don't know why, because it's like just a lettuce leaf. Do you know what I mean? So what's the actual nutrients in lettuce? Like, like when you look at that compared to, I don't know, a courgette. I'm saying that because I can literally see one in front of me. The courgette looks more substantial than the lettuce leaf. Do you know what I mean? So you kind of assume there's more nutrients in this than that. So what are the nutrients in lettuce? You know, is it really good for you?
Are they more than just garnish?
Yes. So
yes, they are more than just a garnish. So lettuce is very good for you. It is full of nutrients. It is full of vitamins. It does differ on the nutrient content between baby leaves and between a whole head. So typically, baby leaves, so things like spinach, rocket, baby kale, have a much higher nutrient content. And something like a whole head lettuce, so for example an iceberg, has a lower nutrient content. So that's because it's got a higher water content, so there'll be less nutrients. So still have nutrients in them, still great for taste and for adding crunch, but the baby leaves are really the ones that are the most nutritious. So our superfood mix, that is made up of baby leaves. So we use spinach, rocket, baby kale, baby chard, and then we also use beetroot in there. So all of the ingredients in that mix have been chosen because of their nutritional properties and their vitamin content. So in that mix we have an immune support claim, just to highlight the nutritional benefits, and that's supported by the fact that they are all together, they're contributing vitamin A, vitamin K, folate, and a source of vitamin C. So that mix, all of those baby leaves, definitely is very nutritious.
I think over the last few years, like kale got so much good PR as being good for you, and kind of, in a way, I can see why you've added those to the salad mixes, because it then kind of, it almost pulls them through and gives, helps to give a different kind of PR for the rest of the salad leaves as well, because it's very easy to see them as throwaway, and people often just leave them on the plate, and we don't really appreciate the goodness that is in there, but they can stand up to all other sorts of vegetables and salads in there as well. So I think there's still a bit of education out there that's needed, but maybe it's through showing people different ways to use them. And I know that Ellen and I, in the last couple of weeks, we've actually put together a really cool reel for Instagram where I've used some leftover salad leaves in a bolognese. I've also stir-fried them with soy and ginger. You made a smoothie and something else, right?
I made a smoothie and I made a rainbow salad, but it was a fruit. So I used like the Florette salad leaves and then like nectarines and strawberries and walnuts. It was amazing, really tasty.
So at your end, with kind of the PR, etc., are you kind of encouraging people to be more inventive with how they use their salad leaves? Any unusual recipes you can share?
Definitely. So, I mean, we've got lots of recipes on packs and then also lots of recipes on our website. So salad's not just for salads and sandwiches. Like you say, there's so many more ways to be inventive to use salad and also to avoid leftovers. So you can try cooking with spinach, adding it to curries, and then also rocket. That's one of my personal favourites. So just adding it to a pizza just before it goes in the oven, and it just adds a really fresh kind of peppery crunch. And then smoothies, like you say, so spinach is quite well known to be used in a smoothie, but you can use other mixes. So our classic crispy mix goes really well in a smoothie with carrot and ginger, and it makes quite a light, refreshing green smoothie, and also obviously very good in vitamins as well. So it's adding colour, it's adding texture, and it is really healthy for you. So yeah, lots of different ways you can use salad, and there's loads more recipes on the website.
Perfect. It's not just lettuce leaves on a plate. Like the little salad garnish. Well, that's really lovely. There's loads of different ways of doing it, isn't there?
I dread to think how much salad is left in the UK each year on plates.
Yeah.
That would be a figure I never want to know.
Because if it comes out in the restaurant and everyone eats everything else and it leaves a few salad leaves, but all the nutrients in the salad leaves, that's a shame. At home, when you have your lettuce, like how long can it last for, and how can you make it last longer? If you've got some in the fridge, and how many days will it last, and what can you do to like keep it fresh for as long as possible?
So it is a bit of a ticking clock, I suppose, with salads. So because it is a fresh product, we like to think that obviously we're using really quality raw materials, so we do have a really good shelf life on the salad bags. But at home, once you've opened that bag, then yes, the salad does start to deteriorate. But you can take the bags, you can fold them. Some people like to put it in water. There's a few different ways that you can do it. Just to keep it fresher for longer. Some people put them in Tupperware pots. Anything to kind of try and stop the air. And obviously it's so important to keep them in the fridge. So as minimal time out as possible, and that will just help preserve them.
I saw someone put them in like a dryer, and then so open the bag, put them into a dryer to make sure there was no moisture at all, and then split them and put them into Tupperware or bags and completely seal them, put them back in the fridge, and apparently it makes them last a few more days longer. I mean, I haven't actually tried it because once I have it, I eat it. It doesn't last very long, but apparently that makes it last a few days longer. They're worth a try.
That's cool. But like we say, we've got a reel coming out very soon that shows those very inventive different ways to use salads. So, hopefully we can be part of that change of people appreciating it in a very different way. So thank you for joining us on the podcast today, guys. We just got a couple of final questions. We just want to know, what is next for Floret, kind of like in NPD, any new products coming up? I do know that you talked about biodiversity across your farms, etc. And I know that you've got actually a wildflower project that the public can get involved with as well. So please let us know what is next for Floret in the big scheme of things, please.
Yeah, so from a farm point of view, I guess we're pretty proud of the steps we've already taken, on our farms, enhancing the local environment and still growing responsibly. Next is, like you say, the wildflowering. It's to encourage our Floret fans to get involved and do something the same. But it's top secret, and you'll have to watch this space, I think, for more information. Okay. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag too much.
Cool. The lettuce out of the bag, you mean?
That's a good one. But it is something everyone can get involved with, and we'll hear more about that kind of in another month or so, I believe.
Yes, I think so.
Super.
Exciting.
Okay, brilliant. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Floret. I don't think I'll be taking my apron off, though. I might keep it on all afternoon.
But thank you. It's really interesting to learn more about how Floret salads are grown and also the different ways we can use them and how we can perhaps appreciate them very differently on our plates at home, maybe even making them the main star in the meal rather than just, an actor at the side. So.
Hopefully, yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, it's Sophie here from Old House in the Shires with a little update of what's been happening in my garden. Well, I think the main challenge for all of us has been the lack of rain. We have had a little bit here in Wiltshire and we're not quite in a hosepipe ban, but the water butts are empty and it's really tricky to know what to do next. So my advice is to allow your grass, your lawn just to go brown. It'll bounce back. Leave the larger plants. They will grow longer roots and search for water. And I am just watering my cutting garden where I've got my flowers. Now, my flowers have been particularly short this year and the flowers are smaller. For example, the cosmos, zinnia and dahlias. They're also late and that's a direct response to the heat and the drought. They're just coming now though and they are beginning to flower. So keep cutting any flowers that you have and they will produce new ones. The other jobs I've been doing are I've been washing all my seed trays and sterilising them, something I always try to do in the summertime. It's important that you sterilise your equipment to prevent mould and damping off later on in the season. I will be sowing hardy annuals in September, early September. And that leads me on to the fact that I have a new course that's just launched. So you can go to my bio if you'd like to join in with the autumn seed sowing course. It's specially for flower growers. I've been drying lots of flowers as well and experimenting with different ways of drying them. So my hydrangea Annabelles are in a jug of water and I am drying those and they're great at Christmas time I know, Christmas. Who thought I would mention that in a podcast? But they are really, really good for decorations. I also use allium seed heads, and I've been drying poppies, bells of Ireland, nigella, and a few other bits and bobs like a scabious called ping pong, which is brilliant. You grow it specifically for the seed head. The nigella I grew was called Black Albion, and again, you grow that for the black seed head. It's really, really interesting. So apart from looking forward to sowing my hardy annuals, I am also about to cut all the old fruit canes on my raspberries and tuck in those strawberry runners. I've got loofahs growing in my greenhouse, which is really exciting. That's new for me. And I've got flowers on my chilies. So everything's going really well. I just wished we would have some rain. So maybe rain dances, everyone. That might be in order. Okay, have a good one. Bye.
Everything produced by Floret, sponsors of Series 8 of the podcast, is grown by a network of passionate local farmers who make quality and freshness their top priority. Whatever the dish, savour the flavour and make it unfloretable.
You make me laugh because sometimes when we are talking, like on video, you have this cute smile, like you're excited and embarrassed and taking the mickey out of me all in one go. That's what your face says to me.
No, but you forget, I'm also looking at myself.
Oh, you're smiling at you.
It could be about me, you know, Ellen. Hey, Ellen, I'm in Holland, and just before we started recording, I showed you around the trial grounds. But look, I just noticed that there's so much green on the water, like duckweed, that it looks kind of like complete. And I would really love to know how many people think it is actually a surface and like fall in. Or also, like, I'd love to know how many cars just drive into the water, because there was a road I drove on today. There's water both sides, like the same level as the grass, and you could easily just, you know, how you just might go onto the verge or something. It's like you just would be in the water.
I'm assuming that anyone who lives there will know very much that there's a lot of waterways around, and
but tourists, they'll drown.
How deep are they?
Oh, I don't know actually. But even if they're, I guess for a car it would be all right. But if you're a person, you could easily die. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. Anyway,
please don't step in. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is, and oh my god, because I'm staying in this little kind of cabin, and the wildlife around it, like the swans and the ducks, and the duck, there was like a mandarin, the ones with the little hats, not the hats, feathered hats.
Yeah.
They're not real hats, obviously, because the hats would get wet. But that was like bringing a fish to its little baby. It's so cool to watch this. And then the ducks, like, especially in the morning, they're kind of like hoovering along just under the water, I guess, for like little bugs or something. It's like, and the swans, oh my God, the swans today were having a bath. They were like ducking up and down. So cool. Really
I can honestly tell you that when we first met, which I don't really know how many years ago it was now, but it was a while ago.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
I feel like you have evolved to enjoy nature more than you used to.
I think probably, I don't know, I think probably I always did, but there was a point where maybe like I was working so much or kind of more dealing with a product that I became disconnected. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. To be honest,
you've had your new
easy to still do that, you know.
Since you've had your new garden, you've definitely become more connected, that's for sure.
Which is obviously what do you call it? Library of wildlife.
A library of wildlife. I like that very much.
Yeah. How's your buddleia, more importantly?
Pardon?
How's your buddleia?
How's my buddleia? Oh, everyone knows about the buddleia gossip, don't they? It's not doing very well in the heat, to be honest. So I think the neighbours are going to get their wish, and I'm going to probably have to cut it back for this year anyway.
I think the buddleia would come through that, surely.
It's looking really bedraggled, so I'm thinking of tidying it up, and I know it will come back for sure.
Oh my God.
But for this year, I think it needs a bit of a cutback.
Yeah, but you have to do it in the dead of night, because I wouldn't be able to do it knowing that my neighbours would see and they would know that they'd won.
It's not about that. I do love my buddleia, but also
someone else had done it in the night.
Yeah, with it being so hot and sunny though, I do think it probably does need to be removed because it's zapping all of the nutrients, all the plants around it. So I will probably have to do it eventually. But never mind my Badlier gossip. Tell us what you're doing in Holland. What is going on? Because you just gave me a little glimpse and it looked amazing.
Just hanging out, Ellen. You know I like to live my life in different locations. No, but seriously, it's kind of like, how do I even know this place? Boskoop is kind of like the main tree and shrub area in Holland. And I've always known about this trial garden that's here, and it's kind of like on the edge of the town. And I don't know who told me, but there was a restaurant that opened here, which is really gorgeous. It's so tasty. And then when we came here, I came with my partner early in the year. We even had a birthday meal here. Ooh. And then noticed that there was places you could stay that are just like little greenhouses on the water. And I'd had my eye on it. And then I kind of I knew I'd be in Holland for a couple of weeks. And I did a deal. And now here I am.
You did a deal. I think your deal was, hey, I'm coming to stay. I'm Mr. Plant Geek. Can I have a discount?
But the thing is, I think even Dutch people I've talked to this week, they don't know that there's such cool stuff in Boskoop, It's almost like someone walking along and telling you that this is cool, It's similar to that. It's really a town that is really kind of a bit seen as, like Ipswich, really. Yeah, but it's really it's such a cool little complex. And there's around the corner, there's a really old tree and shrub nursery that now has a coffee shop on the side. Ellen, I love when things kind of not modernize, but just kind of become a bit cool. That sounds I know, but you know what I mean. And it's just, I just love it when something just becomes a little bit different and quirky and brings in a new audience, most importantly, as well.
And also because of, all the amazing trial grounds there are around there and breeders and nurseries all around that area. So I guess if you can kind of do something that encourages a new clientele, then they might discover plants as well.
I was talking to a couple of people today, actually, because you know what I'm like, Ellen. I spaff my new ideas all over the place. But, I like to share the love. But I was talking about, with this, this cool place, this trial ground, I went to the aloe vera place today and we were making face packs and kind of appreciating plants in different ways. Wouldn't it be cool to have, either in the UK or in Holland or across Europe, a real horticultural tour where you got behind the scenes in the nurseries, you kind of got to see some of the stuff that happens in the trade as well. And I think it would be really, really cool. Yeah.
Well, there you go. If all else fails in your career, you could become a gardening tour guide.
I know, but I think I'd get bored because you know what it's like when you're suddenly I don't want to spend time with these guys tonight. I'd have to injuries or stomach upsets or something. You know what I mean, though.
You could always allow for some free time. You realise that, right?
Yeah, true. For everyone. But no, I think it could be really cool to just show that side of horticulture. And I know it's coming up later in the season, our interview with the aloe nursery. But there was something else. I haven't even told you yet, actually. There was something else amazing there today. And it wasn't just the aloe. Okay. But the guy, Frank, that we interviewed a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. He is 27. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you can remember what that's like, but no, I can't. Oh. He's 27, yeah. And he's the second oldest. Is that the right way to say it? There's another girl just working for him who's 30, right? So 30 is the oldest person in that company. And there's 5 permanent people and they're all under 30 and they work with students a lot. So students will often be there for 2 years and their holidays, their breaks. So they're generally about 16, 17. So the average age of this company is 16 years old.
Oh my God.
Now, isn't that cool? And
that's amazing.
We sit here, when we sit there in the UK and we talk about young people getting into horticulture and that we need to appreciate horticulture needs to be commercial, don't be embarrassed about it. This is just such a brilliant prototype for that because this is, a European-wide company selling aloe vera, put all the branding together, running a really professional outfit, and the average age is 16 years old.
That is
Isn't that
remarkable and amazing, and that's completely awesome.
I know. I was already WhatsApping Nat, Nat Splat from Home of Happy Plants.
Yeah.
I was like banging onto her. I was like, this is where it's happening. It's like, I think sometimes, and I've said this to you a lot, Ellen, we just have this awful chip on our shoulders in the UK where young people are not into horticulture. Well, maybe they are, maybe they want to be, or kind of like, oh, horticulture isn't really respected. Well, just get it yourselves and do it. Because in Holland, it's kind of, what did someone say to me today? It's like having a big commercial company in horticulture is kind of like the baseline for a horticultural company. It's not like what you're kind of aiming for or kind of like, the dream to be commercial. They're not ashamed to kind of make money from plants. And I think we always are. And it's just so it really opens my eyes being here, Ella Mary, to be honest.
Okay, well, I love that because that got very ranty. And I'm always happy to listen to you ranting.
I know, it's so cute. It's the one time you don't butt in when you know I'm in the rant. Really nice and respectful. Thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure. I can feel the passion.
But you see where I'm coming from, and it's just such a. And to be honest, I'm speaking at an event in for HTA horticulture in like mid-September, and I'm kind of thinking like it shouldn't be me. It should be like one of these guys from Holland. Like this guy, 27 years old, running a company with a range of students. It's like that's ultimately the inspiration. Do you know what I mean?
But you can tell everyone about that, you can... Yeah,
no, true. I could get him on live video link up. Wouldn't that be futuristic?
You could do that. Yeah, that would be awesome. Or have him pre-record a video and put it into your presentation.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually, Ellen Mary.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. You can have that for free if you like.
Yes, thank you. Oh. It's really cool to learn a lot. I love it.
And what about some of the plants you've seen that are particularly exciting that you've seen over the last few days?
Well, do you know what? I've been at Sahin, which is kind of like it's merged with Taki in the last few years. And I've been coming to Sahin since I was like 18 years old. So they really specialize in hardy annuals, so like direct sow. And similar, when I went to Van Hemert yesterday, they do a similar range. But it just really shows you what you can sow directly in the soil and what is easy to grow in that way, and what actually flowers, dare I say, as well, if not better than cutting rates. Oh, I don't know if you saw the picture. Oh no, what's happened?
No,
you got
sorry,
a lamp down.
I dropped my phone, sorry.
Oh, classy. So for example, Brassicum, this Swan River daisy. The plant, if you see the plant, it must have, I reckon this plant had 500 flowers on it alone. And This is mid-August. And this is a point where a lot of plants are kind of burning off. Yeah. So you kind of see that hardy annuals, they've really got value. And thinking about the fact they cost just £2 a packet from seed, it's just that kind of really cool reminder that hardy annuals are, the king of plants for beginners, really. And so many cool things in the range. Did you see the sea foam, for example, Tolerant? It's like this it's like Catinus from seed almost, if you can imagine that. It's really cool. And like different limoniums, and like you would have loved all the dried flowers because, I wouldn't say they've revived in their range, but they've always been there. But of course, they weren't popular for all those years when I was doing product development. And I kind of wish I was doing it now because the market has changed so much. It's really cool, to be fair. Yeah.
That's exciting. I actually really love seeing like how things come around. Do you know what I mean? Like the dried flowers from when, like, I can't even remember, like maybe the 70s or something, it's come back around and people are really, really enjoying them again. But I think that all links in with trying like to keep but connected, if you like, still throughout the winter. You know how we talk more about cooking the produce that we grow or using the flowers for displays. We now sort of like, but also if we dry them like we dry herbs for tea, then we can have lovely dried flower displays all winter as well. So it's like that longevity of what you're doing in the garden.
And I guess it's coming from a sustainable angle to a degree as well.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, but it's interesting.
Like, you always imagine that dried flowers will be more drought tolerant, but they're not necessarally, are they? Like you grow them on the allotment. They need the same water as everyone, don't they?
It really depends on what they are. So I put together a post on my top drought tolerant plants, which aren't ones that anyone would think they would be.
Yeah.
Because based upon what I'm growing down the allotment, the straw flowers, for example, have done really, really well, and that's, they would dry over the winter. But then there's other plants that you might think would have done okay in the sunshine, and they really haven't at all. So I think, what? So in my cut flower patch, I've got the straw flowers, which I have a few different varieties of. I've got cosmos, and I've got masses of zinnias. And the zinnias are the most drought tolerant of all of the cut flowers. Like, they don't care, and I haven't watered them ever, really.
And that's amazing, given that they're so green as a plant as well. I
know, and their stems are they're quite flimsy, kind of like a bit hollowish, aren't they, really? So like when you cut them to put them in a vase and you take the foliage off, put them in, you have to be really careful that you don't like bend the stems. And the cosmos hasn't really done very well. I've got a few flowers, but it's not as great as it should be. Some of my herbaceous perennials are really struggled in comparison to the annuals. And actually also, you said to me when you came over here, whenever it was a couple of weeks ago, my neighbour's garden is really pretty. I can remember looking at that, and it's mainly annuals in there. She's got things like petunias, geraniums, verbenas, lobelias.
Classic.
Right, all the classic, but it's like a big mishmash of colour. She's been away nearly a week, and I've watered it twice throughout the heat wave.
That's cool. I think like plants, you need to water them less to make them find the water. And I was listening to, I'm trying to listen to like Gardener's Question Time more often on podcasts, because I'm not the best at how-to and advice like that. That's no secret. So it's kind of really nice to learn these little dribbles and tips here and there. And Christine Wharton was talking about she laughs at her neighbours when they're watering every day, because it's just kind of sprinkling on the surface. It doesn't really go down deep. And she goes deep once a week.
She goes deep once a week.
And it makes you think, because the roots of the plant then go deeper, they access low. And then look at, like with grass, really, when we talk about grass. Not that we ever talk about grass. Do we talk about grass?
No, we don't often talk about grass. Maybe we should sometime.
It's not a grass podcast.
I've been watching people down the allotment getting watering their plots like every morning, and I don't have time for that. And most things are doing really, really well. Like I have a big dahlia bed, and everyone's always, concerned about their dahlias. And that's been watered maybe genuinely once every 2 weeks. And because there's lots of them, they're shading the soil, so they're keeping the soils cool. And then it has a thick layer of mulch, and that's retaining the moisture. And by the 2 week mark, they do need a bit of water, but they're fine. They're flowering, the stems are long, everything's good. So I don't think we need to be as crazy with the watering as we think.
No, definitely not. You seem to know what you're doing.
So do you.
No. Oh, Ellen, what you like. What else you got on this week then? Are you just writing lots? Because I know you're burrowing away.
Loads of, like you were saying earlier on about trying to get admin done. I have a ton of writing this week, but I've been really busy all day, every day this week. Tomorrow, which is Friday, because I'm recording this on Thursday evening before it goes out on Sunday, I'm having a whole day of gardening. So I allow myself a day off in the week to purely garden, and not like just potter a little. A whole day of getting mucky and sweaty and gardening.
Cool. That's nice. I've no idea why I called you homo, by the way.
You called me. I didn't even hear that.
But I'm allowed to say that word, you're not. So there we go.
That's kind of like, okay, I'm not even going to argue with you.
You're so cute. That's nice. What am I doing tomorrow?
Oh, by the way, that was so ungenuine what you just said.
Was it? Oh, yeah. I've got a couple of meetings, and then doing a radio, talking about, how many radio things have been calling us, asking us to go on and talk about hose pipes?
Honestly, so many. And I couldn't do one the other day because I was doing a really early morning, well-being pre-record. And I think in the end they did get France's top hill, didn't they?
I just did pre-record.
I was going to stand in for you, and France's top hill stood in for me, and therefore you. How about that?
So that means we're 6 separations from Madonna, maybe. Yeah. That's the aim. So that's cool. And then later on, I know, because it's so useful being in Holland, because you can just jump on things and do this and like, just call someone up and go there. And I just wondered today when I saw some lorries go along, I was like, where is my Mangava lorry? So I put in a call to Plantip, who kind of manage the variety. And apparently it will be into Kwarkle, which is a town like about 20 minutes away at 4 p.m. tomorrow. So I'm going to go meet my lorry.
You are literally going to go to see yourself on the side of a lorry.
Oh, like you wouldn't.
Hey, have you not seen it in real life yourself yet? Have you only seen it in pictures?
No, I haven't. No, only on the pictures and stuff and little videos. So yeah, that's cool.
Very cool. Yeah.
On the weekend, I'll probably go to the Floriada again, because I went on the day before it opened. So it'll be really nice to see how that's developed. Only open for a few more weeks. There's a big kind of almost like an Olympic park of like flowers and presentations from all around the world.
Lovely.
But the thing is, this was interesting. Sorry, I had a rosé earlier. Right, it's gone down. Interesting thing is, when I was talking to the PR girl there a couple of months ago, when I went for the preview, like there's all different countries that contribute from around the world, like showing what they do for horticulture. And they obviously asked all different countries to kind of, if they'd like to contribute. And they asked the UK, and the UK didn't contribute anything.
What?
Make of that what you will. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
what?
I don't know if they wrote to Boris or what, but yeah.
What's going on?
I know.
What's that all about?
Because this would be a great place to show, and I don't know where that request would go to or how far it would get down, but I think we've really got to start being proud of what we do in horticulture in the UK, you know.
I completely... Why would you say no to such a lovely opportunity?
I know. We could have cobbled something together, couldn't we, Melon?
Yeah, we could have cobbled something together, yeah.
Yes, that's the goss on that one, unfortunately.
Well, that does sound really sad, but it sounds like you're having a lovely exotic time over there. I'm looking after someone's dogs and going out for lunch on the weekend.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Are they in your house?
I'm not as exotic as you.
Are they in your house?
Not yet. They will be in a few days.
I love that you look round just to check.
Do you know what? Oddly, I looked around like.
Why were you looking?
Is this to like? Are they here now, or is it another day? Honestly, I think middle age is catching up on me now.
You probably left the dogs somewhere.
Yeah. Oh my God, I've left them yet. No, I haven't.
Oh, I hope they're not ones that fart.
No, I don't think they are.
Yeah, because you won't cope with that as the vegan.
Our dog Dolly, she doesn't ever trump, like ever.
She looks like the sort of dog that wouldn't trump, to be honest.
I have honestly never ever known her to do that.
Maybe she's still in the honeymoon period. She doesn't want you to send her back by trumping in front of you. Oh, Ellen, honestly.
I'm going to go and see her next week. I'm going over to the US for 3 weeks next week. And honestly, next Saturday. Next Saturday? Okay. Yes, next Saturday.
Cleared it with me.
When I told you the dates, you wrote them in your diary, so I know it's
Did I? Oh, okay. I've moved on to another diary since then. God, I hate how sweet my arm is, Jesus. Right, carry on.
I am genuinely looking forward to the balcony because I know that my husband has been watering it, and a little bit of deadheading. But as you know, it takes a bit more than that. Like you have to keep your eye on it. There's bugs and diseases.
You're looking forward to seeing how crap it is? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm looking forward to like seeing what is still alive is what I was getting to. I'm always looking on the positive side, but I should imagine that the hanging baskets aren't in very good shape, that's for sure.
Oh no. Have you seen them on video though?
Well, funnily enough, when we FaceTime...
Or did he fake it? Did he fake the video?
No, when we FaceTime, he kind of intentionally moves around so that you can't see the hanging baskets. And I've even said to him, let me see, because they're full of calabachoa. And I'm like, let me see the calabachoa. And he's like, I don't know what they are. And he knows very well what ones they are. So I think that he's hiding them.
the thing is, you're making a problem there because you just needs to be honest about it. That's the thing.
It's kind of become a bit of a joke between us though now, so it's fine. But the good news is that all of the plants that we have put up there, remember this is in a very urban environment. There's barely any other balconies with any other plants. There's the odd one here or there, but really no big deal. We have hummingbirds like literally flying around a balcony, not just one or two.
When you think of what you could do in a space like that, and the fact people don't, it's just...
Yep. Yeah, it's very urban. There's a construction site next to us, for example, but there are a few trees across the road. But apart from that, there's not much around, and you will there are literally hummingbirds just coming all over the balcony. It's amazing. And bees. I haven't quite had the monarch butterflies yet, but maybe one year.
Oh, wow. How many floors up is it?
We're at the top, so we're on the 4th floor, which is technically the 5th
not
floor.
too high then. Yeah.
No, it's not the tallest of buildings, but we're at the top. So yeah, hummingbirds and bees and all kinds of other bugs, like crickets, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's lush.
So many bees on these hardy annuals. Honestly, I put a reel up literally today. I'm on Instagram, Mr_Plant, anyone that wants to follow. And the bees, like some of them, they're kind of drunk on pollen. There was one that was like had his arse covered in pollen, but was still going into hibiscus for more.
It's it's the bee bar,
really.
It's the bee bar. They've had a few pints of nectar, and then they don't know when to stop. It happens to all of them.
How will they get home? Because I was in Amsterdam last night. A guy was on the 24, and he needed to be on the 5. I don't think he got home.
Do you know what? If it got on the tube, he would have gone all the way to Stanhope.
Honestly. But what the hell? I can't believe they were way down. Honestly, it had it on the back and on the front as well.
Yeah, it's lush, isn't it, when you see it?
And there was what is it? It's not a Romnea, but I'll say that anyway. Like this poppy that's round and white.
Right.
And it was like, you know how poppy, like the pollen's like arranged in a clock.
Yeah.
And the bee was like going all around like in a circle. It was so cool.
Aren't they just so lovely? It's amazing to watch them.
Oh, your reaction is the cutest.
I just honestly, I love it so much.
Oh, what you like. Oh, Ellen.
I also love that you had a rosé today. So you're very fluid right now.
Well, the thing is, like, with this restaurant just opposite, I'm almost like thinking, what do people order when they order nightcaps?
You could have like a brandy.
Oh, no.
Or like, what about like a sweet or not? What do you have at Christmas? Like not a brandy, but
milk,
sherry, that kind of thing. So like a sweet, a sweet.
Oh, limoncello. I don't know.
You can have an amaretto.
Yeah, but it's cute.
You can have amaretto.
I get 20% discount in there as well.
Well, you'll be drinking your nectar like the bees at the bee bar.
But do you know what's really funny? Like when I go there, and I've been there for lunch, and like for a coffee in the afternoon, they know to give me the discount, but I never, because like I talked to the people through Instagram, I never met the people that have offered me the discount, and I'd really like to, because I want to thank them in person, but like everyone seems to know that I get the discount, so I don't know if my picture is up in the staff room or something.
I was going to say,
because there's nothing else that links me to getting the discount. So I don't know. I just feel a bit like conspicuous.
When you're being treated like a celebrity. When you go to the shows and the staff and in the green room, there's always pictures up of anyone who's speaking or any celebrities coming. The first time I ever saw my face on one of those, I literally was like. I reckon they've got those of you up or in the staff room saying, "This is Michael Perry, Mr. Plant Geek. He's the discount. He's the celebrity here coming to stay."
I'm gonna change my look, and then that'll fox them.
Dye your hair blonde.
It's like when you're at the fuel station and you there's the people that steal petrol or diesel. A picture of them with their car and their plate.
Very good. Well,
but yeah, I might do so. Yeah, wish me luck.
Good luck.
But the worst thing, well, no, it's not bad. I don't think anyone minds. But like, because I'm not on my own this week, it's like, you think like if I was in America, someone would come and talk to me, wouldn't they? Thinking I was lonely. Yeah. But like here, it's all right because they're unfriendly anyway. So yeah, I'm all good. No, but the thing is, people don't, and I think we've talked about this before, but like you and I, we quite like being in our own company. It's not like just because we're somewhere ourselves doesn't mean we're there through unfortunate circumstance. It'll be there for choice. So.
No, I love people. I love socializing. I love being with my friends. But I literally said to my friend Louise the other day, if I'm with people for 2 days, I need 3 days of my own.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Do you think, do you feel even more like that since 2020? Do you know what? I never like to say the name of it.
Yes and no. Like, I think I've always been a bit of a loner, as in like I like my own time, but I love people too, but I like my own time. But yeah, maybe a bit more. Yeah, maybe.
I think I did change a little trifle. Yeah. Little trifle.
I think I can definitely go longer without seeing people. Like I can go a long time without worrying about having to see anybody.
Yeah, it's queer, isn't it?
And actually now, because my husband lives in America, I genuinely wonder what happens when he comes back to England. I don't know. We've been married for 20 years this year, and I don't know if I want to live with him full time.
Oh no, it's weird. Same with my partner. Every time it's like you have to like reset. It's
exactly.
Crazy.
I don't know if I want it. I like my own time.
Oh, Melon. You and your cushions.
Me and my cushions. What are you like?
Hey, up.
Well, it's been very nice chatting with you.
Do you know what? I have to say, same with you. I wasn't looking forward to it, but it's turned out all right.
You are so rude to me.
D-bad. The music for the Plant-Based podcast is part of the song Grow by Mikey James, and our editor is Gareth Patch of Semi Echo.